Injustice, a very popular fighting game series that has a lot of reputation. With several DC characters, who knows what will happen. The basis is Superman is a tyrant and Batman is a freedom fighter. Pretty straightforward concept, and with Brainiac, we can see the two putting aside their differences to fight him, and then be at each other's throats all over again.
I am crossing my fingers for a new Injustice game. It's a beloved franchise with a crap ton of fans. I mean, there's no other game that needed a sequel that could go wrong. Shut up, people want to forget you!
A few rules to place here: no characters that have been playable in at least one of the games, regardless if they're dead or alive, so don't expect Shazam or Dr. Fate here. And only DC characters, so no Johnny Cage, Muhammad Ali, or Bugs Bunny. Also, I will allow those that have appeared only in the Injustice comics.
When it comes to fighting games, some things are needed, like ninjas or sword characters, and Smash Bros. Understands the fact that we need sword characters quite perfectly. And you know who else understands that? Tatsu Yamashiro!
All things considered, Katana would make a pretty good character. Her sword, the Soul Taker sword, is an essential part of her. As a samurai, I can see her having similar movesets to Silver Samurai from X-Men, Children of the Atom, without the shurikens. Not to mention, she knows damn well about her speed and can kill you without you even knowing.
Why she's so low on this list is because the only thing supernatural about her is her sword. And one can argue that Batman is also just a human. Are you seriously comparing her to Batman?
While it is unknown who the threat would be in the third game, some of her costumes could include references in other shows or media. She can have some dialogue with the Suicide Squad, and we have to pray that they do not reference the Suicide Squad movie. Looking at you, Deadshot, Harley, and Joker!
You know, in 2006, Tom Kenny was meant to audition for Plastic Man in a canceled Plastic Man TV series. Then he reprised that role again in Batman Brave and the Bold. And in 2018, he was Plastic Man in this movie. Look how far he's gone!
Plastic Man isn't the most serious character in the DC franchise. However, he is great for his humor and some forms of slapstick. In a broad scope, if he is in Injustice 3, he could be the Mr. Game & Watch of DC, pulling some random items out of his ass.
Imagine if in the third Injustice game, we get a big threat like Darkseid or Anti-Monitor and you play as Plastic Man. That could be self-inducing in online matches. That's like three-stocking a Joker with Little Mac.
Tom Kenny is very much recognized for his roles with Plastic Man, with his witty remarks, and pretty much is Plastic Man incarnate considering the other slapstick characters he does. Tom Kenny would most likely love to do a few roles in the Injustice 3 game.
Now please note, I do not speak for Warner Bros., alright? I am not confirming that Injustice 3 will happen. But it would be nice to have a character that'll put a light tone on things in this dark environment. In fact, trivia, the reason why Mortal Kombat vs. DC was made was because Midway at the time wanted to make a sort of gritty version of Mortal Kombat. And then we got that. Wait. Do you think we'll get a sequel to Mortal Kombat vs. DC?
No! No! I reject the premise of this!
We all do, Brian. We all do. You know, now that I think about it, we have two supers in the game series. Superman and Supergirl. So let's have Superboy!
Superboy has pretty much the same capabilities as Superman, though he has the edgy teenager thing to him. And the show Young Justice is still going on quite strong today. Hell, bring in Nolan North and you get a great fighting game character. And I'm pretty damn sure that if we have Lobo in the third game, there could be some references to how Lobo decimated that bug thing from the show.
Nope, I have not seen Young Justice yet, but I am considering on seeing it. Would anyone recommend it to me?
Whether Superboy joins the regime or the rebels, it works. On one hand, Superboy could be the next dictator Superman,
But on the other hand, he can see the flaws in Superman's regime and can actually make some changes similar to Supergirl, but a more edgier way.
I'm the coolest.
Regardless, it would be nice if Injustice 3 had a sort of an everyone is here, bringing in every character that's been playable in the Injustice series, from the console versions to the mobile versions. I mean, it would be nice if there was, just another DC casual back from the dead sort of thing. Either a magic amulet that brings back the dead, or an alternate dimension of a character that is the exact same one. Either way, I would like to have an Everyone is Here, pull sort of a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I mean, they did that with the Marvel Cinematic Universe at Avengers Endgame, and of course, as aforementioned, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And that is not including the references that can be made from Mortal Kombat 11. Wait. Plot twist. The Joker from Mortal Kombat 11 is the exact same Joker that Superman killed in the first Injustice game. Now, take a look at this fine piece of art. So detailed, so important in our daily life. Sure, one would oversee this for such works as Pablo Picasso. However, if one were to take one closer gander at such a being, they would instantly say,
Howdy! This iconic villain would be amazing to be brought in the Injustice franchise. I can see this character become a somewhat far-range character. Hell, from what I see, he can play a similar Plastic Man. Only difference is that he's a lot more messy.
should Clayface come into Injustice 3, I can honestly see him becoming very similar to Shang Tsung when he does his intro. He comes in as his opponent until reverting back to his true self. Hell, I mean, with Halloween almost around the corner, we can have a sort of a fall theme with this. You know, I mean, personally, I love the fall season. You know, the leaves, the earthy tones.
Motherfucker threw me! I need some ice!
Yeah, and pumpkin spice.
There have been several people who have carried the name Clayface, but Matt Hagen would be the real Clayface the world needs. With his acting chops, he would do well to be an imposter of anybody. No way he could not be incorporated into the new story mode. But Hagen is popular in the media, while Carlo Basil is popular with real comic book fans. So, one or the other, take your pick.
Her name strikes fear in the hearts of many. If she were to exist, EA, Konami, Activision, they will all piss their pants when they hear her crossbow. That's right, I am referring to the legendary killer, the Crossbow Killer.
I'm not the crossbow killer!
Okay, damn! Shit! No need to pull that shit on me, alright? I'm way too broke for a mafia. In fact, go for the other three that I mentioned. Oh, and while you're at it, you think you can find Gabe Newell and, have him make Valve make a new game? And she's gone.
I watched Birds of Prey, and frankly, I am somewhat of a sucker for characters who use a crossbow, a bow and arrow, or pretty much whatever that can be used to snipe some scrubs. With some interesting interactions with Batman, not to mention there may be some references to Helena Wayne from Earth 2. But with DC's shit ton of timelines and reboots, who the fuck knows what is canon anymore?
Is DC Comics really that complex? I can think of a lot more complicated theories.
Okay, you're a dead meme at this point.
Or a recurring character.
Sega will be after my ass if you are.
Hey buddy, you're still good. Space Hamster has that toad that's been constantly screaming in all his videos.
Except my ass isn't Space Hamster. In fact, I am 90% sure that toad will bite him in the ass. Anyways.
Sure, Huntress only uses a crossbow, but with her martial arts skills, she'd be pretty fun to do. Many could underestimate her until they get a crossbow up their ass. Everybody gangster until someone pulls out a crossbow.
Oh shit, he's packing heat!
Petition to have Huntress voiced by Michelle Ruff, the same person who voiced Yukari Takaba in Persona 3.
Your constant mention of Persona will be the downfall of your channel.
Future's now, old man.
Yeah, that should sum it up.
Considering all that went down in Injustice 2, you gotta wonder what happened years in the future. Probably not much change, but it could still work to have Terry be in Injustice 3.
Hey, come on!
Terry McGinnis! Anyways, with a plethora of batarangs and future technology, would it come to anyone's surprise if he played like Tracer if Overwatch was a fighting game? Ability to fly, having flashbangs, hell, he could be a fusion of the Bat Family.
Though, technically speaking, he is a part of the Bat Family.
Let's just say that he traveled back in time, just like how Brainiac's descendant did in Brainiac's arcade ending, coming back in time for some random reason. Maybe his future is fucked up and we get to see Booster Gold. Maybe. Whatever. Water. Earth. Fire. Air. Long ago, in the year 1968, only one element lived within an android. Then, everything changed when the fire...
Okay, this is stupid. It doesn't even make any sense.
The android with a human soul sounds suspiciously familiar like Android 16 from Dragon Ball. And frankly, with his ability to control the wind, I can honestly see his gameplay a lot similar to Fujin from Mortal Kombat 11. I say the robot has a plethora of airborne attacks that would make him an excellent fighter. Plus, with his monotone voice, it could make for some humorous interactions.
And with how he handles men, he can give out quite the blowjob. Did we learn nothing from the MK11 video?
Without getting a drop of paint on anything but the flappin' flotsam, what's that?
This one just feels right for the Injustice series. Killer Croc is one of the most iconic characters in DC Comics and only made 2 stage transition appearances. With this hunk of leather, I see a Zangief-like player feeling right at home with this guy. Sure, he may be a Bane clone, but we can tweak that by adding one more thing. The ability to bite. The strongest crocodile's bite comes from the saltwater crocodile with a bite force of 3,700 psi. Just imagine how fucking powerful Killer Croc's bite force is.
With Killer Croc's super armor, plus his healing factor, he could decimate the competition and butt heads with the likes of Bane. Wait. Better idea. King K. Rool versus Killer Croc. Place your bets, let's make it happen! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am the amazing Hector Hightower. And for you, I shall perform a magical trick. I shall separate my fingers with no repercussions. Here we go. Ready, and voila! Yes, very unique, isn't it? I put them back together. Abracadabra, alakazoo, the bibi da boo, that this is a copyright shit. Put them apart and what do I get? A possible lawsuit.
Yeah, is that supposed to impress anyone? I'm pretty sure there's an exorcist that can give you a run for your money. John Constantine. Ever heard of him?
I put that fucking dead meme in a door shredder like Monsters Inc. if the landlord didn't care what goes on in the apartment.
The Hellblazer, John Constantine, would work wonders in a fighting game. With a shit ton of magic and a sharp tongue, whatever you got, he most likely has an answer for. Flames and summoning circles, and you may deal some emotional damage when playing against your overweight Christian aunt's annoying child who asks you for your phone the split second you take it out.
Bring a Zatanna, and we get the Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat 11, but in Injustice 3.
Etrigan the Demon, Beast Boy, Booster Gold, Rorschach. 4 most recognizable characters in DC history. Etrigan is a demon that speaks in rhymes, but you just know that with his demonic capabilities, he will wipe out the competition. Everyone knows Beast Boy. He's the only Titan that hasn't appeared in the series. We got Robin or Nightwing, Raven in the first game, Cyborg came twice, and Starfire is DLC for the second game. Booster Gold has his own technology that helps him travel through time, so that'll be fun to experiment
within the Injustice timeline, not to mention the Batman Beyond thing I mentioned earlier. And then there's Rorschach, basically Batman, but a real detective without any gadgets. Let's bring him back! Immortality, sword skills, sorcery. All these words are not uncommon in the DC universe, but throughout Batman's several adversaries, there is one, just one, who ever understood these words very well, with knowledge so advanced he may even be capable of curing the coronavirus. Ra's al Ghul.
Oh boy! We're getting to the deep stuff now! Ra's al Ghul will be perfect for the Injustice series. He would join it for whatever the fuck kind of reason he has!
Here we have a master swordsman with all the magic and sorcery by his side, and he is an incredibly smart man, capable of using his magic against any form of fighters in the Injustice series. In fact, I can see him bringing back Joker from the dead and using him for his own personal gain. Not to mention, with his vast knowledge, anyone who attempts to lie to him about something in the interactions, such as Blue Beetle or Beast Boy, would not exactly have things go as planned, as he can sense whatever is false from a mile away.
My logical data analysis sector indicates that would be highly unlikely, and my bullshit meter agrees.
In a world where everyone dies, surely the Lazarus Pit would be used for Joker, Shazam, and Dr. Fate. And while this will sound very unlikely to happen, what if Ra's was the next big bad of the Injustice series? In Black Adam's ending, he had Adam to do what he wanted in exchange for some services. With all this power at his fingertips, Ra's al Ghul would be perfect for the Injustice 3 game.
That was top 10 most wanted characters for Injustice 3. And, well, Ra's is a massive badass. No one can deny that. He isn't, Father of the Year. He just treats Talia like crap, despite the fact how he loves her. He loves her, but he doesn't know how to take care of her. And frankly, that is very concerning, so I'm gonna be calling Child Protective Services. Next time's Top 10 Worst Dads!